Running nonprofit literary science fiction and fantasy convention, and it's right here in Albuquerque. Here with more on bubonic is Jessica Cole and Dorinda Jones. I want to thank you ladies so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so we were talking about this convention. How long has it been running?
This is our 47th year. We've been going since 1969 in Albuquerque.
Okay, so big hit, right?
Yeah.
So tell me about Bubonicon. What do you guys have and what is it about?
This year we have over 50 authors and artists, a lot of whom are local to Albuquerque. So we have things like, artists and author panels where they talk about their work and themes in science fiction and fantasy. We also have things like an art show, a dealer's room, and different kinds of programming on costuming, that kind of thing.
Okay, and you do encourage people to dress up, right?
Oh, definitely. We have some local fan groups that come, like the 501st Star Wars group, and they come in armor, and Darth Vader comes, but we also have just lots of fans who make their own costumes throughout the year and really dress up and get into it.
That's awesome, and it's family friendly.
Definitely.
So bring the kiddos.
Yeah, and then on Saturday in particular, Saturday afternoon, we have a kids programming track from about 1 to 2:30, and we also have the 501st Star Wars group does a droid hunt. That's a scavenger hunt throughout the hotel after that. So we really, Saturdays in particular.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Okay, so let's talk about who's one of the big guests.
Well, our main guests this year are authors Tamara Pierce and Catherine Valente, also author Mary Robinette Coal and artist Ruth Sanderson, who did our wonderful t-shirt art for this year.
And that's the theme, right?
Yeah, our theme this year is Women of Wonder, so you can see our female in armor up there. It's because this is our first year we've ever had an all-female lineup of guests.
And Dorinda, you're a New York Times best-selling author, right?
Yes.
So tell me about your work, because you're going to be there as well.
Yes, I'll be there. I write urban fantasy. I have a series with St. Martin's, and yeah, I'll be there. We have a book signing. We have panels. There's a tea. It's all fun.
Tell me, if somebody has never heard of your writings, tell me about that. Why should they read some of your writings?
Well, my series, the Charlie Davidson series, is set in Albuquerque. And so there's I throw in a lot of local flavor, and but it's basically about a female private investigator who was born the Grim Reaper. It's paranormal, and so it's just fun. It's mystery in every book, and
how do you get started on a series like that? Like, what do you look for inspiration? Or does it just come to you?
It just comes, yeah. Everything is inspiration, everything. Nothing is sacred.
And then you get it on paper right away,
yes,
right?
Immediately.
How nice is it that we have computers now?
Oh, gosh. I can't even imagine typing with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Remember the typewriters back in the day?
Exactly. Yeah.
The little whiteout all the time. Okay, so you're going to be there.
Yes.
We're also talking about George R.R. Martin.
Yes, we have lots of local authors who come, including George R.R. Martin, who obviously is a big draw for us.
Yes. Are you thinking, you mentioned he's been there for a few years now. Did you notice an uptick in attendees?
Yeah, he's been coming to Bubonicon since the 80s when he moved to Santa Fe. But yes, in the last couple of years since Game of Thrones has been on HBO, we've definitely had an uptick of attendees who are interested in seeing all of our authors, but particularly George.
Yeah, and I think that's great, because I think you have somebody, of that stature right now. He is getting a lot of attention. That's great news for him, but it's also great for a lot of the authors that are
It is great for us.
Because somebody that may have not heard about your series, they get to see it now.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that's great news for everybody, right?
Yeah.
So tell me, how many people are you anticipating being there?
Last couple of years, we've been averaging about 700 to 800 paid attendees, so it's gotten fairly large. And once you figure in the authors, we usually have over 900 people at the convention.
So we need to surpass 1,000 this time, right?
That would be great.
Yeah. So tell me when and where.
Okay, so it's this weekend, August 28th through 30th. We're at the Uptown Marriott at the corner of essentially Louisiana and I-40.
Okay.
And like I said, Friday, Saturday, Sunday weekend passes are $45. You can also buy badges just for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which average $15 to $25.
And why is the Saturday pass a little bit more? Is there more?
Yeah, a lot happens on Saturday.
Okay.
We also, in addition to all the author and artist panels and all the other stuff's gone, we also, Saturday night is our costume contest.
Oh.
Which is a big deal. And also Saturday is when we do our mass autographing, so it's a great place to get autographs from all of the authors that are present. So
I could see that. All right, so plan ahead, go all 3 days because you don't really want to miss anything. There's a website on the bottom of your screen right there for more details. I want to thank you, lovely ladies, for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
For more details, go to our website, krqe.com. We'll have a recap of this interview there. We'll be right back.